What up, boys and girls? Addition and subtraction. It's me, your boy, Mr. Marty, and we're gonna be adding and subtracting today using the column and the distributive method. The column and the distributive method. The column method, as you remember, is the quote-unquote Easter egg method. But we use the Easter eggs for multiplication, and the distributive method is the breaking down method, or the visiting method, as we like to call it in class, right? So I just wanted to go over this stuff again because I like you guys, and I think you guys are smart, and I think you guys like maths. So let's do some maths. Okay, say we are adding 255 plus 27. 255 plus 27, right? Naturally, we're going to start with our first number. 255 plus 27. But wait, something's wrong there. What's wrong? The places. I've put things in the wrong places. Remember what you have to do, boys and girls, is make sure that everything is in its correct place. 200 is in the hundreds place, 50 is in the tens place, 5 is in the units place. This is 27. So 20 here is in the tens place. 7 here is in the units place. So let's fix that quickly. Now we're good to go. We can just start adding, right? You start with the units place as per usual. 5 plus 7. What is 5 plus 7, boys and girls? You should know 5 plus 7 right now. 12, right? I'm not going to write 12 down here. No. I'm going to write 2 and then carry the 1 over to the 5. Right? Now we're done with our units. We are now adding our tens, right? And then I'm going to say 1 plus 5 plus 2, right? 1 plus 5 plus 2 should give me 8. And then I just bring down the 2 because I'm not adding it to anything, or I'm just adding it to 0, if you want to call it that. And our final answer becomes 282. I like addition. It's a very simple exercise. 255 plus 27 will give you 282. Cool. I'll just quickly do another one, but this time I want you to pause the video and then answer to see if you guys are actually on the same track as I am. So, say we have the numbers. Now let's make things a little more juicy and spicy, right? Say you are adding 2,099 plus 4,171, right? And things are getting a little heated up in here. Obviously, you're going to start with the 2,099 plus, remember to line everything up correctly, right? The best thing to do that is to maybe start writing by the units place. You know, your unit is always going to be on your far right. So 1714. So 2,099 plus 4,171. We start with our units as per usual. We would then say 9 plus 1, which is 10. Now we don't write 10 here. We just write 0 and carry the 1 over to the next number, right? And now we are adding from our tens place. So we then say 1 plus 9 plus 7, which should give us 17. You write the 7 over here. Sorry. You're going to write the 7 over here and then carry the 1 over to the next number. We are now adding our hundredths place. 1 plus 0 plus 1 is 2. Plain and simple. Done with that. So we now need to add our thousandths place, right? 2 plus 4 will give you 6. Final answer, 6,260. 6,270. 6,270. And we are good to go. Right? Right then. So now let's subtract using the column method once more. Subtracting using the column method. Let's go. Say you have the numbers 175 minus 28. Now, how you start or how you form your calculation is no different than addition. Start with the first number, which is 175, all right? And then 28 at the bottom. Now, in order for you not to forget your place value, I suggest you start by noting down the units. The unit in this case is 8, and then you have the tens immediately after that. So everything's perfectly lined up in this way. So let's start minusing. 5 minus 8. Oops, we can't really do that. 8 is larger than 5, and so 5 cannot actually minus 8 and give us a positive integer as an answer. So what we would do in a situation like this is borrow from the number before 5, which is 7. So we're going to borrow 1 from 7. 7 turns into a 6. 5 turns into 15. Now, we're going to start with our units as we've been doing all this time. What we are essentially going to do here is to minus our units. So 5 now turns into 15, right? So it's 15 minus 8. 15 minus 8 should give us 7, right? Now that we're done with that, we move on to the next place, which is our tens place. 6 minus 2, right? Move on to our tens place. 6 minus 2, right? And what does 6 minus 2 give us? 6 minus 2 gives us 4. Awesome. Now, because we're done with all of that, we are now left with the last place, which is the hundredths place. Now, our 100 is not really minusing anything, so we're just going to bring it down. This is the same as 1 minus 0. It should give you 1. So the final answer in this case becomes 147. Let's go ahead and do another one with the thousandth place. Oh, my tongue, Lord. So we're going to start off with 7,127 minus 3,999. 7,127 minus 3,999. So the first thing we're going to do in this instance, or in this case, is first start by forming our calculation. So it's 7,127. We're forming our calculation into columns. That's why we call it the column method, right? Minus 3,999. Let's go. Where do we start? Do we start minusing the thousands places, or the hundreds, or the tens, the units? Where do we start? We start with the units places, right? So we're gonna go 7 minus 9. 7 minus 9. Now 7 is smaller than 9, so if we minus 9 from 7, we get a negative answer, right? So 7 cannot really minus 9 and give us a positive answer. So we need to borrow from the neighbors, right? Borrow some sugar from the neighbors. From 2. 2 becomes 1, 7 becomes 17, and then we can freely minus, right? So we're going to say 17, right? 17 minus 9. 17 minus 9 will give us 8. 17 minus 9 will give us 8, right? Now that we're done minusing our units, we move on to our tens. Over here, move on to our tens. But you see now the catch is it's 1 minus 9. 1 can't really minus 9 without giving us a negative answer. And we want a positive answer. So 1 cannot minus 9 for what we are trying to do here. So again, we're going to go next door and go, Coco, I'd like some sugar. We're going to borrow from next door. 1 becomes 0. And this one becomes 11. Right? So it's 11 minus 9. 11 minus 9 should give us 2. Awesome. We're done with our tens places. We are now moving on to our hundreds places. But oops, trouble again. It's 0 minus 9. 0 cannot really minus 9. Again, without giving us a positive number. Now, people usually say, no, 0 can't minus 9. No, sir, a small number can't minus a bigger number. It can, boys and girls. Let's get rid of that misconception. A small number can minus a big number. But the answer is going to be negative. And we want a positive answer. So what we are going to do is go next door once more. Coco, we'd like some sugar. Get some sugar. 7 becomes 6. Just add our 1 onto here. Our 0 becomes 10. So now it's 10 minus 9. 10 minus 9 should give you 1. And now we move on to our thousands place. 6 minus 3. 6 minus 3 is quite easily 3. Final answer, 3,128. So 7,127 minus 3,999 should give us 3,128. And just like that, we are done, we are dusted, and we are moving. Chief?